How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Positive Hour with Trav and Brother Nate.
What's up?
Today's topic is about empowering your mind. Trying to use your mental abilities or your mental strength to get you through any hardships or just anything in general. I would say you can pretty much do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. It's pretty much a proven statement within reason.
Yeah.
Again, it's not like you can go and build a house in one day. Maybe if you had like 1,000 guys or something. But there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? It's taking it in that little context. So like what I try to do when I'm kind of doing that stuff is I look at it. So like, for instance, if they say you couldn't build a house in a day, I tell people it can be done. One is if everything was there and if you had enough men. You could do, I mean, not where it's too ridiculous, but like, you know what I mean? Something small you could do easily. Now define it. Looking at things in that context is what I'm saying. But I try to look at everything I do when it comes to that with how my mindset thinks about those types of things. And I'll take it in. I'm trying to think of an example. Like if it's if we're working and somebody tells me, "Oh, you can't do this," I look at it, and instead of me saying I can't do to this point, which would be impossible, I'll be like, okay, maybe getting to that point wouldn't be possible today, but I bet you if I got to there, that's still pretty impressive. And the person would be like, oh, yeah, you probably won't even get halfway. Okay, where I know I can legitimately go no matter how hard I work to get there, I'll get to that point. Or I'll try like hell. And what I noticed is if you push yourself on every time, and it takes time. People just don't realize it. It takes time. If you push yourself to that point every day, let's say it was the same thing every day. Like, let's just say you had it was bricks on a wall. And every day you could lay 500 bricks. But every day you keep pushing. I want to do 501. Maybe you get 501 in 3 days in a row. And then maybe the next day you get like 505. You know, if you keep pushing, oh, maybe I can do like 510. I just got to keep going. I got to have a 505 minimum. Because think about it. To set one brick, after you set it, it's X amount of time. I'm just giving an example. This is not reality. But you set it, it's X amount of time. But if you just push that one more, it's like another 30 seconds or maybe. Yeah. You know what I mean, right? But that's how I kind of look at empowering your mind to get things done on whatever I have to do. Or I set schedules. Like I said on the other previous podcast, is I map out the day, what I have to do to get it done to the end of the day. So like whatever it is. And I'll go through and I'll have a whole list and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go here. And then at the end, I'm finding home. Anything that curveballs me in, I just try to accommodate as best I can. If not, then I just push it off. But that's just kind of my small approach to that little part of empowering your mind. What you think, Nate?
I think you good points you say. You pushing on forward and using your mental power to do the next step and move fast and be productive. That's all truth. Usually when you're going into a physical state of mind, your body get tired, but when your mind is strong, it wills you to go on further. Case in point, right? You're doing your workout, 4-minute workout, and you're kicking. Your body tired, but you might say, I gotta make it to 4 minutes. But it's funny how you see your body all like this, but it keeps going. Because your mind is strong and it's telling you to move forward. It's the same concept, yeah. Like I play sports too, and I play football, and you're playing 4 quarters and you don't have nothing left. But as soon as your coach tells you, let's go, and give you a motivation, and he's speaking to your head, and you retaining what he's saying you're the best. He's saying you can do it, you can push forward. You say 2 more minutes, give it all you got. For some reason, you can muster up strength. Your body will release whatever needs to go on forward, but it's all because your mind. You know, it's your mind telling your body you can't do it. So the basic thing you want to do is train your mind to go the extra mile, to go a little bit further every day. And a lot of things you can do to empower and to strengthen your mind is to read. Now, I'm finally learning this because I'm not a reader, but when I started to read and started to retain, I was able to help more people, because when you read, you get to read situations that other people was in and how they helped in situations. So I empower my mind to talk like one of the things they said is, you know, when you use your mind over your power, you know, because when you get older, when we were younger, we could physically do things way more than when we was younger. We could either fight or we could work harder. We could just do like 20 bricks one time, you know, like that, putting in like 5 on our backs and stuff like that, you know. And then as we get older, we're like, oh, get 4 guys over here. Let's make a chain. And you can chain them all the way up. And instead of you carrying 20, you had done, say you did like, took you 2 minutes or 5 minutes to walk up one floor with 10 bricks. If you made a ladder, if you made a chain with the people, you had actually moved 500 or so, because you're just passing one at a time and you're not killing yourself. So you're able to do more because you use your head instead of your physical sense. Because as you get older, you cannot use your physical power. You know, you cannot, do things physical. So you have to use your head and your mind to figure things out. Like Travis was saying, how to plan things, you know, how to see, like if somebody tell you, you cannot get there. If you have a strong mind, you can fire out and you can see things visually. That's not a physical thing. That's a mental thing, where you can actually see things on the wall and see where you gotta go and all the obstacles you can do. That's mental. And a lot of people like me and Travis and whoever's in construction, you get mentally stronger and smarter as you get older because you have experience. And like my grandpa used to always say, be a sponge, boy, soak up everything. And just disregard what you don't like, but take everything. Listen. Strengthen your mind to listen and to comprehend what people are telling you. Reading is very important. It's one of the things that you can do to strengthen your mind to fight. Alzheimer's and dementia, because your mind is always reading, is always thinking. My grandpa, he was 90 years old when he passed away, and he was bedridden, but he was sharp as a tack. But my grandpa used to read the newspaper every day. Every day in breakfast, he read the newspaper. Read. Even to the day he died, my grandpa was smart and still telling people what to do the day he passed away. And, and he never wasted his breath. Like, he never wasted his thoughts. He always think before he talked. What do I say? Will it either damage somebody or lift them up? Will it either encourage somebody or tear them down? As you become a boss, you gotta also realize that if I push in a certain way, yeah, they may get it done, but is it getting it done right? Are they rushing it? Or if you methodically walk through them and say, hey, put the box here 5 feet off the ground, and show them how to use a tape measure for about 2 minutes. And let that soak into their head so they have a mental power and they have mental knowledge of knowing exactly what to do. Instead of, rushing and then you come back and you got to fix it. Then you get more mad. So it's learning to use your mind and your words to get things done is very important to me as I got older. What do you think, Trav?
No, definitely. And I agree with what you said. And a lot of things you said was actually really good, especially the part of when he was giving an example of when you say you got to get to like 4 minutes if you're kicking a bag or whatever you're doing, you're exerting yourself and your body's saying you give up. And you said, but your mind is, your body's still going. They actually did studies that when you fully exert yourself, your body usually craps out at 60% or wants to give up so you can recover. But you could actually keep going a hell of a lot longer. Navy SEALs, I think that's what they said is the percent that you can just keep going. So once you hit what you think is your max. You still got 40 more in the reserves. I mean, if you hit 100, you're probably going to drop dead. But still mind over matter, you know? And pushing through the uncomfortableness is what it takes. Setting times, 10 more seconds. Like I said, is on the other podcast, we're just talking about just taking it just a little bit longer. One more rep, one more step, one more foot. You have to want to do it in your mind. Plenty of people would be like, oh, I want to diet. And then they'll go good for maybe the first 2 days or a week, and then they'll be like, oh, nah, I just want to eat this one thing. And then that one thing goes, you know what? I'll go running a little bit longer tomorrow. And then it'll be a cascading effect. What I see is, or what I've done and I've seen that works for me, is that if you stay as strict as you can to yourself, you don't give into that, just one candy or one chip, you'll tend to be able to go further because your mind will just be more sharper, or not sharper, but it'd be more disciplined. So you don't fall off the wagon. Because once you get that, everybody's like, but what if you just eat moderation? You'd be fine. I know me. There's no moderation. There's not just one scoop of ice cream. You know what I mean? It's going to be like 5 scoops of ice cream, or it's not going to be like 3 M&Ms. It's going to be like, just keep going. That's only half of a bag. You know what I mean? Or Oreo or whatever your vice is, chips. For me, it's whatever it is I won't do it. So I gotta make sure I try to not even eat it at all. Because once I eat it, I know I'm gonna keep going regardless. But that's just me, and I just look at it as taking those kind of steps and just let people know, like, when you push it, just go a little bit more, because there's still more in the tank in anything. And you know, if you're feeling stressed out about certain things, try to see if you can change your mindset on it. For, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, granted, there's some things that's just going to drive you bonkers no matter what. Like, we're human. But if you try to, like, change your mindset on stuff, and maybe that might help with you getting to the next set. For instance, it'd be like, if somebody always irritates you, instead of you looking at the part of why they're always irritating you, just kind of like, when you see them, you know it's coming, you just go, here we go. But I'm not going to let it irritate me, because then that's what that person's trying to get a rise out of.
Prepare your mind.
Just prep it and just be like, you know what? Just laugh, deal with it, walk away. And don't even go there and go like, oh, he's a dick or whatever. Or she's a dick or whatever you want to say. Instead, I just go, well, at least I survived that 5-minute conversation and they didn't get me that nuts, you know? And that's step one. The next day would be like, then it'll be like from when you're super irritated and they see that you're not getting irritated, like, oh, right on. Or you can get smarter. Talk about something that they don't want to talk about or hear. If they're always talking, talk about yourself or something, you know? If they have to hear themselves talk, change the topic. Make it so that they can't get into your mindset. Like, when we were young, you remember when they used to be like, when there was fighters or even chess players or whatever, it's like, don't let them get into your mind. Same process. You just try to work it and just like keep your eyes closed and just try to think about what it is, what the goal is, so they don't beat you. Because once they find out that little trigger, that's anybody. Once they find that trigger, they just keep pressing that button. And to get a rise out of you, get you to do something, get you to do something that you normally wouldn't do, and then it gets them ahead of you because it makes you look a certain way. I mean, it's really hard. That self-discipline to try to make it where people can't push your buttons is really, really, really hard. But if you can get to that point, then you just figure out how to, I wouldn't say cope with it, but be able to mentally be able to handle it. You know, I mean, and and don't get me wrong, there's just some people out there that will just push your button no matter how much you try. What you think, Nate?
For that case, on that point, don't be around them. Don't have to be around that. You know, don't be around people who make you mad. You know, if you need to take a mental break from that person, take a mental break until you can actually go and cope and exist around that person, if that makes sense. Like for me, you know, I'm a Christian, so I believe, you know, Jesus tells me in the Bible when I read it, you know, he tells me to renew my mind, renew my spirit. So every day, basically telling me, renew my mind to face that kind of trials and tribulations to people. Some people cannot change. Some people don't want to change. And, and if we're going to be around them, if they're our coworkers or our wife or our kids, we cannot live in a constant angerful state. We'll die. We'll stress out. So we have to find ways to cope with it by renewing, like Travis was saying, like you to understand that this person is like this. They may not change yet, So if you know they're like that, it don't make sense, get mad. So what you do is you mentally prepare yourself. And you can do stuff like time it. You're talking to people. You notice 60 minutes, if you're talking to them, they're not paying attention to you. Change the subject. Pass it on to the next person. Things like that. You got to use your mind to study the human behavior. Are they listening to me or they only want to talk about themselves? It can all pan out. Like my grandpa used to always teach me, think before you talk. Let people talk. In 5 minutes, you're going to know straight out what kind of a person they are. Because when you can gauge that and use your mind to talk to him, you know that you have 30 seconds to get to your point. You got to stop talking because this person's not going to listen. Or you get 30 seconds to get to your point and say, bah, okay, I got to go. Because that's all they're going to listen to you. And that's all they can handle. And there's things like, understanding human behavior through interaction is also powerful for the mind. Because every experience you face will help you on the next experience. Because there's a lot of people who are either the same as yourself or same like an individual that you come across. So you're going to be able to help multiple people or listen to multiple people or try to understand multiple people's behavior. Psychology is very important, studying the human behavior and the interaction. And a lot of that is through the mind because you're observing and you're processing what they do. Now, for instance, that this individual that you're talking to is not a good person, is very disruptive, very rude, and that makes you upset. You come into the attack with a positive reinforcement because most negative people don't like hear positive, so they'll stop talking. Or they go, okay, I gotta go. Which is you want that to happen too because that's too negative. So you have to use your mind to get what you want out of a situation or help someone or present something to help them. It's all about thinking and observing. I think we bypass a lot of that process when we either working or we dealing in a relationship. We don't observe. Most of us, we want to just dominate and be right, which is wrong because you don't learn. Your way could be good for a certain amount of state of mind, but some other people might have better ideas. So I come to the approach now as I'm older. Sometimes I make a mistake and I get set in my ways and I like do my way, but then I find out that if I do other options, then certain areas I cannot do my way. So if I never listen to that person telling me to use this specific tool or to operate it this way, I'm going to lose out because I'm going to be stuck. I'm not going to be prepared. So in that case, sometimes observing one's thoughts and processing in your head and saying, yeah, will help you in the long run. What do you think, Trav?
No, I definitely agree. And it's funny. You said the yeah. Or whatever. A lot of people I notice do that. Even, hell, I'm guilty. You just say yeah, but you didn't hear what the person said. There's a difference of listening and hearing, yeah? Hearing you just like, it's like the Charlie Brown when the teacher's talking. And everybody's like, okay. And then they go on their way. Listening is actually hearing what the message was. Like if you put your hand in that thing, it's going to get smashed. What? Really? Try. I mean, of course, there's be some geniuses that just go like, huh, bam, and then their hand is gone. But you know that definitely makes sense, and I never thought of it that way of empowering your mind, but definitely trying to, and I'm saying that because I'm guilty of it all the time, and I know a lot of people are probably guilty of that.
I'm guilty too.
Up the wall. Where you're just like, oh, yeah. Okay, yep. You didn't really hear what they said. You're just saying yeah to make them be quiet. But I think, you know, if you definitely try to listen to the message, you probably would not be in so much predicaments. I mean, and I think that goes for the whole entire world.
Like case in point, right? Like, even though you listen to the message, you didn't like it, you still learn something.
Yeah.
You learn patience.
Yeah.
You learn how to listen to rubbish.
Yeah.
And you also learn how to identify rubbish. Sorry, go ahead.
No, definite.
That was a good point you just said.
Well, that's a key point right there. That also, when you start listening and doing that, you start, like how Nate said, you start picking up on rubbish, which you start figuring out which people are BSing, and how people are, and you'll start to see a pattern of certain people.
Yeah.
And you're going to surround yourself around the same type of person that you are. As in time. As time goes on, you'll see. From when you were elementary to intermediate, your friends changed.
That's true.
When you're intermediate to high school, your friends changed. From high school to college, your friends changed. From college to when you was partying, your friends changed. And then after when there was families, everything changed.
And then when you're 40, you get no friends.
Yeah. You only get
you just like be alone with your thoughts.
Yeah, you might have two or three.
One or half a friend.
Something like that. You might have two or three. I mean, you're going to have a handful.
Which is fine.
I mean, you could have a buttload, and that's great. If you're that type of person that wants to have 1 billion friends, that's on you. But to have actually really good friends that's going to be there for you, brah.
It's a few.
That
you maybe on your hand.
Not even. You might get half your hand. You know what I'm saying? And be like that kind of.
And sometimes that finger is falling off.
Yeah, exactly. Because people don't want to, like Nate said from a long time ago podcast, is most people don't want to have to deal with your problems.
Yeah.
They just they to
but
themselves.
They like you help them with theirs.
Exactly. And you know, it's not easy, it's not fair. I mean, and to be a good friend is not easy. You know, to truly care is really hard, because there's gonna be a lot of times when people care, people don't. They either gonna use you or just show no appreciation for what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that stuff. But that comes with your mind. What do you do when that happens? Me, I just go, instead of me getting all pissed, I just go, whatever. In my mind, I just go, I'm not going to waste my time to help you anymore. I'm just going to do what I have to do. If you're there, you're there. When I listen to you, it's going to be more so like the Charlie Brown teacher talking to me. You know, yep, Do I really care? No, because there's no change. And, you know, if somebody wants something, Nate sees it when I do things. When I say I want to do something, it's on. Like, there's no stopping me. I'm going to push. I'm going to do everything I can to get it as fast as I can get it. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to be persistent. That's another key thing to empowering your mind. Being persistent, always doing it, consistent. Both. You have to do both. Like, I'm pretty sure almost everybody that's probably watching this is on Instagram or something and sees that meme of the mountain of where success and where people just stay stagnant, where the success looks like a mountain and they keep climbing and they fall down and they climb up and they finally get to the top. And then after that, there's just another mountain that just goes up again. It's the same thing. You just got to keep going every day. Just, I'm going to do this. Do I want to do it? No, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go running even though it's super hot and I don't want to be out there. And then, do I want to take a cold shower? No, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why? Because it'll make me feel good after I'm done. You know, it's that like, for instance, the cold plunge that's a mind over matter thing, but it's also a health benefit. But it shows how long you're going to be able to handle. It's super, super uncomfortable. Nobody likes it. It sucks. But Hell, if it's gonna make you be healthier, or you know what I mean, or if they told you, oh, you know what, all your ailments will go away if you just did it every day for 3 minutes, I bet you the whole world would probably be doing it. You know, if you did it every day for 20 years and it was gonna take away all this stuff, I'm pretty damn sure people would do it. They would do it. Why do people take vitamins? Same concept. It's a routine. So, you know, like the way I would look at my mind for the empowered part is I'm trying to break it down in a simple term. Why do you change the oil in your car? People change their oil in their car, right? Why? To make sure their car can keep running, doesn't break down.
Don't want it to break.
If you would take care of your car, why wouldn't you take care of your health or your mental health, or push through on that same perspective? You know, like I want to exercise. That's still mental as much as it's physical. You have to push yourself. So if you change your oil in your car, you should exercise. Oh, I don't want to eat these vegetables, but I should eat these vegetables. Yeah, but it tastes kind of like just dirt or grass or whatever. It tastes super earthy. You know what? I might as well force myself to eat it. And this is how I would think about it. This is how I think about it is it going to kill me? No. Okay, great. So it's better I eat that thing that tastes kind of like crap, but it's healthy for you, instead of having nothing. Because you don't want to get to that point. You know, like, take it, the way I look at it is I go from one extreme to the other. It's either it's all good or it's all bad. There's no in between for me when I make those mental choices. There's none. It's either it's all or nothing, one or the other. Okay. Should I eat healthy? Yes. Why? Because it's going to be better. It betters your odds when you get older. Okay. Well, does it taste good? No. But I should eat it. Yeah. Is it food? Yep. If I didn't have any food, would I eat this? Guaranteed. So you know what? I might as well just force it down my throat. I mean, and sometimes I'm eating, I'm like, oh, this is pretty nuts.
Pretty gross.
Or even like drinking like juiced vegetables or whatever. Or I used to drink noni. And the reason why I would drink it is because it was healthy for me. I didn't care. I mean, what I would do is but then again, it comes with your mindset, right? I would have a noni and I would have an orange juice. What I would do is I would swirl the noni and I would shot it and drink as fast as I could. I still could taste it. But the point is, I was taking it. Why? Because it's healthy for you. It's probiotic. You know what I mean? It's fermented. Like I said, I'll eat it as long as I know I'm not gonna die or get sick. I'll do it. Like, look at my face. It probably right now I was like, oh. But the point is, I'm looking at a different perspective. Is it healthy? Yes. And that's that's empowering your mind to do what you gotta get done. You know, like there's times where I'm not feeling good. Like I might have a headache, or I'm just like drained from work and the kids, and I'm just like, brah, I just want this day to end, but then I just got to keep going. Then I'll just flip it in a different perspective. Okay, you guys want to make me mentally tired? Okay, let's go do a bunch of things then. Let's just keep going. Because I know me mentally, if I just keep moving, I will keep going. Yeah. It's if I stop is when I feel like the train just gonna slow down. Like okay, now it's getting tired time. Or then you start just snacking away or doing something that is not productive or in your best health interest or whatnot. You know what I mean? That's what I notice. But always moving around, keeping myself preoccupied, doing whatever I like to do. If I'm doing one of my hobbies or whatever, doing the kids or whatever I'm doing, then I don't think of anything. I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's go do this. Let's do this. And that's for me. That's just how I kind of look at it. What do you think, Nate?
No, I agree. You know, all that mental power. Also, your mind is strong enough to tell you what to do too. Say you're sitting in a room and you're depressed, and it says, "Hey, you're depressed. Call someone. Call them. Get up, go out. Get up and go out." Your body telling you you're getting lazy and you're getting tired, and you saw get up and walk. Listen, get up and go walk. Start to listen to your mind on areas like that. Your body will tell you where you're dying and you're lacking. It will tell you. When you're thirsty, what happens? It tells you to drink water.
Mm-hmm.
When you're hungry, it tells you to eat. When you're sad, it tells you to be around people. We are meant to be around people. For instance, like me, I'm an introvert. I like to stay home. But once I get out, I'm friendly. But I'm that type of person that has to go out in order to. But if I had a choice, I'd stay home. But I realized that I lose out on a lot of things. So like when I finally meet my family and my friends, when they're all talking and having fun, I have nothing in common with them. Because I didn't get up and go out and do stuff. So it's important because we feed off each other's energy. So if there's a good, positive environment, be a part of that. It's science. Be a part of a group that's why a lot of people, when they recover alcoholics, they go AA meetings. They're around people and they hear stories how they went through and how they fight. Same thing like me as a church. I'm Christian. You go out and you have problems. You come out and read the Bible, and the Bible says, when two or more are gathered in His name, peace and things come. So you know if somebody has a situation, you can make a group and you can work all your problems out for free instead of paying somebody $300 an hour to do a problem, and probably will medicate you when you don't need it. You just need an outlet to talk. And it's all about, in that sense, listening to your mind, right? It's a vice versa. Your mind doesn't play tricks. It does play tricks on you sometimes, but not all the time. Back to my example. When you're thirsty, it tells you to drink water. When you're hungry, it tells you to eat. When you're sad, it tells you to watch. Why do you think sometimes when you're feeling down and out, you want to watch a comedy? Or you want to go out and be in the fresh air, in a vibrant society? Or when you're bored, for you young people, you guys that go clubs and drink and party and dance. Same thing. Your body knows what it needs. So sometimes listen to your mind. If your mind is telling you to call out to somebody, if your mind is telling you, you're depressed and in a saddened state, try to seek help or try to talk to someone about it. And they might be telling you, no, but that's not you. That's your mind's playing tricks on you. But still, your mind is telling you to try and find something to get you out of this situation because your body wants to live. So I think that because when I used to be in that depressive state, my mind would tell me, you better go out, or you're not going to do well living alone, or being in silence. Go out, reach out, do something, be productive, and I would go, and it would work, and it's things that. Those little things that I think we as humans forget sometimes to listen to what our body is telling us to do. Don't eat that. Like Travis was talking about diet, right? A lot of things that we eat controls our minds. They put chemicals in it. Sugar is a dopamine. It's a very addictive chemical. Cigarettes have nicotine. It's a very addictive chemical. Sodas and energy drinks has caffeine, which is very addictable. And they all have withdrawals when you don't take it. And what is the first thing it hits? Your head. I was an ex-smoker. When I was nicotine withdrawals, migraines, caffeine addict. What's the number one thing that hits you? Your mind gets sore. Sugar, same thing. Your mind. You get headaches when you do not consume these three things. So what is that telling you? That's up to you, what you want to do. So these things control your mind.
Yep.
So when you take away these things, and like Travis is saying, taking your vitamins, eating vegetables, then your mind becomes absorbent. Like mushrooms. Eating mushrooms is very good for you. Shiitake mushrooms is very good for you because it activates sensories in your brain. I was watching this awesome thing on Netflix called Fantastic Fungus, and it talks about how mushrooms, there's a network that a mother tree, she can feed a baby tree, because they branch that far, 50 to 60 miles away. If the mother tree finds out that that tree is hurting through mushrooms because the mushroom connects them that way, it'll start to send nutrients 60, 50 miles away. That's why we get big forests. And we get big trees that have 10 feet stumps. Those ones been feeding people. So it's the same thing. What foods empower your mind to help you to expand your mind, help you to
Definite.
to explore your mind, and help you to have your cylinders all fire in multiple directions. What do you think, Jeff?
No, definite. The food does play a big part in it. Like I was just sharing with Nate some other stuff about like Oreos, Chips Ahoy's, and a lot of candies in the United States. So much process and chemicals in it. Some of them you eat it, you don't feel full, you just keep eating more. Other ones you eat it and it just makes your mind go bonkers. There's so many studies, like if they're saying a person has ADHD or whatever, if you used to take out all that chemicals and just feed them just straight protein, ancient grains and like vegetables, and you kept them away from processed things, a lot of people with those symptoms, it usually either dies down or goes away. It's proven. You can go Google it yourself. But putting stuff in your body is definitely a big key of your mental state. You know, people don't realize it, and I never knew it till when I got older, that putting good stuff into your body changes your mental clarity, your mental thought process. They even did a study I was reading the other day with avocados. They did a control group for 120 days. One group ate just whatever regular food with no avocado, but this other group ate avocado in every serving. And they found out that the group that ate avocados in every serving, it helped with their physical and mental, well, not mental health, but more so physical health. They seen that the bad fats went away and the good fats you need to have elasticity in your skin increased. So they actually got fitter and their complexion started changing.
Oh, nice.
Just on avocados. But avocado is actually a good brain food.
It's a superfood too.
Even they're finding that oregano oils
Oh.
is antibacterial and antifungal, and this thing is like super insanely good for you. Really, really good antioxidants. They have sea moss that's super good for you. It has 92 of 102 things that your body's made out of.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty killer. I mean, there's a lot of things. And granted, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Not literally, but literally. But in the most parts, there's good things. What that should be showing people, or from that statements right there, should be showing that if you went away where it was just back to the basics, you would probably eliminate a lot of diseases and problems. It doesn't taste as flavorful and as good as you want, but you probably would minimize problems in your health and your mental state and birth problems. Granted, that's probably dealt with a whole bunch of other things, but I think a lot of processed foods play a big role in that. And we never realized it from when we were little. We just kept Hawaiian Sun, Doritos, Oreos, or whatever. Halloween, yeah, all the candy. We're just pounding ourselves with all processed foods. And you don't realize it. Nobody realizes it until the day that it drops on you. And you're just like, oh, if I just did it like 10 years ago and I just stopped, I would have been good. Well, start now. You're having people telling you. But like Colleen said, it's very hard. Empowering your mind. You know, it's not easy to just be like, I'm going to just do this. If it was, the whole world would be a better place.
Oh, sure.
But it all starts with one person. And then you start, like we said this before, if I did one kind thing to one person and I tell them, they go, oh, I'll just pay you back. You say, nah. How about instead of paying me back, you just do 5 kind things to 5 random people.
That's it.
And when you do it to them, when they try to pay you back, you tell them, no, you do 5 things. That thing will just spread.
Reciprocate, yep.
It will just spread like wildfire.
Yeah,
And that if we could start that, if you're watching for whatever views we got or how many people watch, if you just did it one time and when the person goes, oh, thank you so much, oh, how can I pay you back? You just say, no need. Just do 5 kind things to 5 random people, or 1 kind thing to 5 random people. That's what I meant to say. And just when they tell you, oh, thank you so much. How I can't do this. I can't pay you back. No. You just do it. You pay it forward. and you keep it going. It's a cycle. If you start the good cycle, the wheel will start spinning slowly, and it'll just continue to go, and it'll go faster, 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 till you have a decent area. But if you go backwards on that cycle, it goes really quick. Forget that guy. Bam, the thing just starts going, and that guy's mad. Boom, man, forget. You know what? The next person, I'm not gonna let him do this. Boom, and it just keeps going and going and going. And it's way easier to just do that than just to be like, I want to try it. Yeah, I'm gonna that person didn't go inside, cut in line. I'm irritated, but maybe they had to do something. You know what I mean? Granted, I'd probably be like, hey, bro, you didn't cut. You know what I mean? Or if you're in line and you have 10 things and there's one person that's just grabbing you just one bubble gum. Is that what you're grabbing? Yeah, go in front of me. You're faster. Just that kind gestures, you know, it goes. And sometimes there's people that just going to keep taking and they're never going to be kind. Yeah. But that's on them. It's all about you.
Yeah, and use your mind to see that in people and stop.
It's not easy, but that's part of it, you know. And just
I would say like stop doing things that you know going to make you mad. You know, like think
if it's negative,
think before you do things. Like
I agree.
Observe.
I agree.
Really observe. Like if I give this person money, what is he gonna do with it? You know.
Yep.
Don't waste your resources. You know, think.
If you're worried about, I want to give them money because they didn't eat, instead of giving them money, give them the food.
Yeah.
You can't do drugs or buy beer or alcohol or anything like that if you ain't got money. But if you have that food, you ain't buying anything. You just got to eat it. So, you know, just showing. I hope what we talked about today kind of gave you guys a perspective of how we kind of look at things. Again, we're not perfect. We still trying to get better at it, be the best we can be. But, you know, hopefully it shed some light and gave a perspective that you can kind of see it. Maybe it sparked something. And like I said,
sparks your mind to read
and do whatever. And you just pass it on forward to the next person and just keep it going. But I hope all this stuff that we said today helped a little bit. And we see you guys next week. Get it.
All right.